Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. I'm late, we're the 3rd of January already, but we had terribly clouded skies the past few nights, so it's the first opportunity for me to wish you all the best for 2021. We are live from Utsjoki again. We have been battling with the clouds all week, and now finally we are watching some beautiful northern lights above the Tenno River. Welcome everybody, good evening. Look at this beautiful green sky in front of us above the Tenno River. This is amazing. So happy to see this tonight. I hope you can hear me well. We are live from Utsjoki in the far north of Finnish Lapland. We are at the Aurora Holidays cottages on the shore of the Tenno River. You can see the Tenno River in the foreground, it's frozen now. And we have Norway opposite from us. These hills on the other side of the river are already in Norway. And we had terrible clouds all the time, and now I just ran out and set up a stream really quickly, set up everything because it got clear and there got lights. So here we are. So, I don't know how long this is going to last, but let's enjoy it while it's there. Bonsoir Hugues et bonsoir Sophie. Good evening Liz. Good evening Patricia. So sorry you had to miss your trip. I really hope you can postpone. And good evening Mario. Bonsoir Joël. Good evening everybody. We are live from Utsjoki in the far north of Finnish Lapland. Sorry, pressed the wrong button. Just wanted to show you where Utsjoki is on the map. We have beautiful northern lights. It's becoming hazy again, but for now we can see it. We can see the same to the naked eye, maybe a little bit less colorful. And wow, this is beautiful. We have really missed this view. The solar wind is really not anything special. But I was always saying that it doesn't really matter here in Utsjoki. We are so far in the north that the slightest disturbance is sufficient to see some beautiful northern lights. So here we are, it's getting hazy again, just 6 minutes after I started. But when I'm looking around, I still see many stars in other parts of the sky. So let's have some patience and maybe we get more. Good evening, everyone who just joined. So it got a little bit clouded to the north, but now we are looking at the southwest, west-southwest, and we have one of the cottages of Aurora Holidays at the top, at the left, sorry, of the image. We have the restaurant on the right, and at the bottom right we have the beautiful gazebo where we can usually stay warm around the fire to watch the lights. And I'm keeping an eye on the northern sky. I don't have the second camera right now. Tina is using it with one of the guests that we have here this week. So I will just be turning around that one. And JC's asking, how cold is it today? I need to open my conversion website. And it is about, well, of course I'm looking at the wrong side now. It's minus 15 degrees Celsius. And I need to convert this for you guys. And that's about 5 degrees Fahrenheit. And thank you, Ellie, for your nice words. I really hope you have the chance to see the Northern Lights yourself. We have Angela from Illinois. Good, what is it, afternoon for you. And yes, it is quite cold, minus 15 centigrade, plus 5 Fahrenheit. But it's not as cold as our last stream when it was minus 36 Celsius, which was minus 33 Fahrenheit. And Justin is saying way too cold for him. It is cold, I don't deny it, but quite honestly, with the proper clothing, good boots, good layers, and when you visit us here, you get a very, very warm outer layer provided if you need it. So it's really, really doable. Really, I haven't heard many people complain that they were still cold despite everything. And of course, yes, I am used to it. But believe me, with the proper clothing, you have nothing to worry about. And Jackie, yes, it's all about layering. And usually when it's this kind of temperature now, I will have a base layer in merino wool. I will have a thick fleece or a thick wool sweater, and on top of it my heavy winter parka. And if it's going to be 10 degrees less, then I will add a fourth layer. So usually I will have 2 wool base layers on top of each other. And yes, Martina, this was supposed to be the start of our course, and we are really, really sad that we had to cancel it. I mean, it's not even really our decision to cancel it. We were forced by the situation. So today I was supposed to start a photography trip here in Utsjoki. And we were going to do this together with my friend Monica from Canada. And yes, it's a real shame that the COVID had to change our plans, but the good news is we have postponed it for next year at the same time, same days, 3 to 10 of January 2022. It will be at this exact same place as we are here, but of course when it's clouded we will be chasing the Northern Lights. And Monica is an amazing night photographer, and we would have a really, really good team. We are halfway to being sold out. It's a small group. We are taking only 7 guests. I think we have already sold 4 spots. So if you are interested in joining us here on the shore of the Tenor River next year, I think you need to be quick to decide. And of course, we are absolutely understanding the situation, and we are very flexible with the booking conditions. If you're not able to travel because of prolonged COVID situation, we will not be keeping the money, obviously, and we will be able to reschedule. And if you are not interested in photography, you can book a regular tour with Aurora Holidays, sorry. And we have Ivana from Slovakia. Good evening. And good evening, Niklas. Under 3 blankets in your room. Well, you get in the mood. And for those who just joined, we had clear sky in the north when I started the stream 15 minutes ago, and we had beautiful northern lights, so you can rewind. And now we are watching the other side of the sky with a few stars and one of the cottages of Aurora Holidays and the restaurant. So Ali, if I understand well, you moved from Tunisia to Finland and you are worried to be too cold. Well, don't worry, you will get used to it. And the most important is, as I was saying before, to have good layering and you will be absolutely fine. Finnish people have survived in this cold weather since eternity, so I think that you will be absolutely fine with the right clothes. And sadly, the clouds are pouring in more and more, so this doesn't really look too good anymore. I just really wanted to show you guys the Northern Lights after we have been away for so many days because of the clouds. And we are still having many clouds coming in. The weather forecast is very changing and it's been really complicated to plan anything the past few days. I can see the image blinking, maybe one of the cables is giving up. And yes, I was going to show you my face now. Hi everybody, it's quite dark. Yes, and I don't even have the right lens for that. I went out really quickly today and just wanted to start this stream, so also wish you all Happy New Year for those who just joined. I'm reading all the comments. Thank you, Mario, for your wishes. And we have Rod asking how to go back to the start. Yes, I'm sorry. spoke too fast. On Facebook you can't rewind, I think, so you need to wait for the end of the stream and then you can watch it, but you can also go on my YouTube channel and there it's possible to rewind. And we have Sandra from Belgium. Good evening to you. So yes, it's... we have green coming again through the clouds. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's more interesting than looking at me. And Rod, yes, I mean the right lens would be a little bit less wide angle. I was just filming myself now. This is the very wide 14mm lens that I normally use to shoot the sky, and it's not really meant for portraits, and that's what I meant, that this is the wrong lens to film myself. And we have a hint, small hint visible here, maybe a little bit more to the left. So it is visible through the clouds. Of course, it would be a million times better without those clouds. So as you can see, we were looking at this direction before and it was very clear first, and then it got totally clouded to the point we couldn't distinguish any star anymore, and now we can see stars, and if we look really closely we can see faint green between those clouds, but that's not too great yet. But let's see how this evolves. And Rod, to photograph the northern lights or the night sky in general, you need a fast lens indeed. And for the northern lights, the wider the better. But what I meant before, it was more like as a portrait lens, that I'm not a small dot in the middle of the picture, and then I don't mind what I would use. It was just to show my face and to say hi to you guys. But yes, for the night sky, you need a faster lens. And I'm seeing that the image is jumping a lot, which tells me there is somewhere a bad connection with cable, or something not going as I wish it would. But luckily, thanks to your support, we have been able to order a couple of new cables to replace the ones that are getting really quickly damaged because of the colds, and they are really not designed for this kind of weather conditions, and the plastic is cracking and the connectors are breaking very easily. If you want to support our stream and all our efforts, we are doing our best to keep this for free, and you can use the link buymeacoffee.com/Aurora Holidays. It really helps us to keep our high standard equipment so that we can do all this for you guys, and we really greatly appreciate even the smallest support. And of course, sharing the stream with your friends and booking trips for whenever you can travel, or buying a print from me is also always super appreciated. We are keeping ourselves busy in these times with no foreign guests, and we enjoyed it very much, so really happy to be here with you guys. Actually, last time I was able to stream was on 26th of December, so I really missed it. And my experienced eye can see some green here in the top third of the image. It's really faint, and the haze and clouds are really not helping here, but it's not far from midnight. It's 11:15 local time, so who knows if we don't get any brighter spark of northern lights like we had before. That would be amazing. And as always, if you have questions, if you want to know something about the Northern Lights, about Lapland, about Utsjoki, just let me know in the comments and I will answer, or try to answer if I have the answer, of course. And Rod is asking why there are different colors in the Northern Lights, and if it's due to weather conditions or related to the intensity of the lights. That's a very good question. The Northern Lights have, as a general fact to start, never anything to do with the weather conditions. There is also a misconception that Northern Lights are created by the cold temperature, because people are used to seeing them in a winter snowy landscape as we are seeing them now, but this has nothing to do with the cold. They can appear any time of the year, and of course in places like we are here in Utsjoki, we have the midnight sun in the summer, so we don't see them. But if you go to the southern part of Canada, for example, you can see them in the summer. So nothing to do with the cold. And the different colors are due to different gases in the atmosphere, in the Earth atmosphere, that get excited by particles of the solar wind, and the green is the most common color, and it comes from the oxygen in the atmosphere. And sometimes we have purple. You have probably seen before, if you have been following us, that there is a purple or pink fringe that appears to be dancing very fast under the green, and this is nitrogen. And usually nitrogen appears when we have faster or more dense solar wind. And on very, very rare occasions we also have red northern lights, and the red also comes from oxygen, but at a higher altitude than the green. The green would be around 80 to 100 kilometers from the ground, and the red would be between 100 and 200 kilometers. So now we have clear sky or clearish sky, and the northern lights have faded. But we are going to stay together for a little longer. Because we never know. We are in Utsjoki, we are so far in the north that any disturbance in the solar wind can create beautiful northern lights. Look at this, we are on the top of Finland, just across the border with Norway. You can actually see Norway here on the image, across the river, across the frozen river. Those hills are already our neighbors in Norway. And now I can see the green getting a little bit brighter again. Oh, look at this, how lucky are we that we have a beautiful green. Just as I said, slightest disturbance can create something as beautiful as this. Wow, it's even dancing, look. So beautiful. Now it's the time to share this stream with your friends. So tag them or share them, because this is the good stuff now. Wow. Look at this. It's dancing. Oh my god. Wow. Now guys, share with your friends. It's the time to watch. So beautiful. Have you been sharing with your friends? Wow, yes, I see more people here. Amazing. Welcome everybody. Look at these beautiful, amazing northern lights. Wow. It's moving, it's just like a painting in the sky. That's so amazing. So sorry for the flickering of the image sometimes. But I'm not going to replace the cable now. We can just enjoy the show as it is. Wow, just amazing. Wow, after so many days of clouds, I'm so happy that we are able to share this with you. Fantastic. We just have a very slight haze, but that doesn't stop the northern lights. That's so beautiful. Utsjoki delivers again. And yes, this is green. Good evening, Heerenveen. We have some beautiful green auroras. Band is stretching from northeast to northwest, so the whole northern sky. And just look at this, wow. It's -15 Celsius, +5 Fahrenheit here in Utsjoki, and the northern lights are dancing. And properly dancing even. So make sure you are sharing this with your friends. That helps us immensely to stay visible, and make sure to visit us when COVID is over. It's getting brighter. Hi, we have Swan back. Yes, 11:30 p.m. Well, I'm really happy we are having this right now. And the doctor is saying I have the best job in the world. I have to agree. That's absolutely amazing. Oh, wow. Wow, that's so beautiful. Sorry I left you a little bit. I took the stills camera down on the ice to have a clear foreground. So if you come back on my Facebook page tomorrow, you will be able to see the picture. So let me get back in the comments. Yes, Suzette, you are right on time. It's really, really beautiful. And we have Christine. Good evening, Christine. Nice to see you here again. We are still live from Utsjoki here since a little bit over 45 minutes. It started with some decent northern lights. It got clouded again. And then it cleared, and just at the right time we had some beautiful northern lights for the last, 10 minutes or maybe even more. We have Maria who joined us. Good evening, Maria. And now we have a little bit of haze again, but it doesn't stop the northern lights. We have had a terrible week with the clouds. We have been really struggling. We have one guest here from South Finland, and finally today she was able to see the northern lights, and she's going home tomorrow, so really happy that Utsjoki delivered again, and now we can continue on our 100% performance of the guests who saw the northern lights when they visited Aurora holidays here. And because of the clouds and because of the weather, that's why Tina is not here with me. She had driven off with the guest, and that's why I'm presenting this alone right now. And we have Lisbeth from Denmark. Good evening. Really happy you enjoy this. Suzette, you're very welcome. Really, I absolutely love these moments. I love sharing this with you all. And we have Constance from Bavaria. Hi. And Klaus from Denmark. Good evening. Good evening, everybody who joined us. We are live from Utsjoki since about 50 minutes. And we are watching the northern lights dance in the sky above the Teno River. The Teno River is that frozen river that you can see in the foreground at the bottom of the image. We have the Norwegian hills on the other side of the river. It's absolutely not safe to cross the river, obviously, but the ice on the shore is quite thick, and there is anyway only 10 centimeters of water under it, so that's why I brought my stills camera down there. We have Jenny from Italy, good evening. Nice to have you here on the stream. If you scroll down on my Facebook page, you can see a picture that I took last year during the previous workshop that we had here, exactly at the same spot and almost exactly the same northern lights. And today we were supposed to start the third edition of this workshop here, and this year was supposed to be with my friend Monica from Canada. She's an amazing night sky photographer and overall landscape photographer, but COVID decided otherwise for us, so we had to cancel this workshop because tourists are not allowed into Finland at this time. But the good news is we have been able to postpone it for next year, also on the 3rd of January. And we are halfway through selling it out. I think we have only 3 or 4 spots available left out of 7 in total. So if you want to join us here, let me know. And hopefully this is going to be one of the views. And the northern lights are coming back a little bit. Bonsoir Monica, je vous en prie, ça me fait très plaisir que vous appréciez le spectacle. And yes, Suzette, very fortunate, especially when you know how much we have been struggling since 27th of December. My God, that's a whole week that we haven't seen anything like that. And Lisa is asking if we can see the meteor shower of the quadrantids tonight. I have to say that earlier in the evening, when it was clear and there was no northern lights, I have seen many meteors, many shooting stars. But not since I have started streaming an hour ago, so we need to keep an eye out. Of course, the glare of the moon is probably removing a lot of these shooting stars from what is visible. And Klaus wants to ask a technical question. Well, you can always ask, and if I have the answer, I will give it. And while we are waiting for the question, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to the Facebook pages and to turn off the notifications. We have been doing these live streams many times since November, and we are planning to continue throughout the season. Wow, it's dancing again on the right. So make sure to subscribe so you get notified when we start streaming. Klaus is asking camera and settings. We are using a... now we just had a shooting star in the middle of the frame. So camera and settings, yes, Klaus, we are using a Sony A7S. It's really good at nighttime photography. And we are using a fast lens together with quite high ISO, and this allows us to have this kind of clear image. And yes, this is the maximum of the quadrantids tonight. As I was saying, we've seen quite a few of them a few hours ago, and now just one minute ago, but I think that the moon is really not helping. And Laurie, I'm really glad you enjoy this live stream, and I really hope that you get the chance to see the lights with your own eyes. That would be absolutely amazing. So I will let you enjoy this for a couple of minutes, and I will walk back down to the river. am back. And now it's actually completely clear, 360 degrees of clear. And this was absolutely not in the weather forecast, so we are really lucky and happy. And I'm sure that Swan is going to say that we are close to the ocean, so the weather changes fast in both directions, from bad to good without a warning, and from good to bad, often also without a warning. And on nights like this, we are really happy. And I see that Tina is commenting. Yes, she's on the road with our guest Patricia, sorry. It's been a difficult week, as I was saying. We had clouds and more clouds, and last night the weather forecast was excellent, but we had clouds nonetheless. And tonight is Patricia's last day, last night. She's going back home tomorrow in South Finland. So it was indeed a nerve-wracking week. And now finally they are able to see it. And Klaus is advising to Justin, don't miss a chance to go if you have it. It's so awesome to see in life. And I agree, it's absolutely breathtaking. So if you have a chance to see it by yourself, I think it's really worth it. And hopefully soon the borders will open again. We can only hope that. And then we can welcome all of you here again. That would be really amazing. And Teresa, sorry, I'm getting my brain frozen. Yes, I'm really sorry to hear your trip was cancelled. And we are really sorry that trips are being cancelled too. We would really like to share this with everybody. Klaus, good night. Thank you for following. Hope to see you again on the stream in the future. So Teresa, I hope you can come soon for your real life Aurora fix. And I don't know if you have traveled to Lapland in other seasons than January and winter. But if you have a chance to try the summer, if the borders will open, this is also an amazing time to be here. No northern lights, of course, in the summer. But we have the midnight sun, and where you can see now these hills in front of us, the sun is just touching them and going back up at midnight. And we have Telita from Namibia. I think you're the first person we have from Namibia on the stream. So welcome here. Very honored to have you all the way from Namibia on our stream. And we have Paola from Italy. Good evening, Paola. Just January you've been, Teresa, I understand. Yes, in summer you can have mosquitoes. And yes, that's the something that everybody's talking about. And I'm not going to say there are no mosquitoes, because it would be a lie. But if you wear proper clothing and use repellent, it's quite okay, I have to say. And Hilche, good night, and thank you for being here. Really amazing. And coming back on the mosquitoes, yes, it's also not the whole summer, and we cannot predict, but it's usually just a couple of weeks, and then we have quiet time, and then the second batch of eggs will hatch, and then we will have some more days of mosquitoes. And it can be annoying, but it's not everywhere, every corner, and it's not all the time. And if you wear long sleeves and long pants and repellent, you kind of learn to live with it. And Claudia, late August. Yeah, late August usually is not mosquito season anymore, and you might still have some of those kind of midges, but it's definitely not as bad as the, let's say, first half of July. And we have Jose from Bilbao in Spain. Good evening. Well, Teresa, you just need to find a travel partner who's even more tasty than you for the mosquitoes, and then you will be okay. And one advice for people who travel in the summer: don't buy your repellents wherever you come from. Just buy it at the supermarket in Finland, because somehow I think they work a lot better with Finnish mosquitoes. That's my little piece of advice. And the northern lights are getting brighter and faster again. And just like that, all of a sudden, here we are again. And how warm does it get in the summer? Here in Utsjoki, there, I think we can get about 20 degrees would be normal summer temperatures, but not all the time. And I'm talking about Celsius, so I need to go back to convert that. So that's about 68 Fahrenheit. And on rare occasions, for a couple of days, it can go to plus 30 Celsius, which would be 86 Fahrenheit. But I would say that usually we would be around plus 15, plus 20 degrees Celsius centigrade. And Prashanta from Espoo, you were in Lapland. Welcome on the stream. And we have some nice movement again. And yes, sometimes it can be really warm. But somehow the warm weather here doesn't feel the same as in crowded cities further south in Europe. And luckily it doesn't last too many days, so it's quite bearable. Et nous avons Valérie qui est de retour. Bonsoir Valérie. And Teresa, yes, this is quite remote here. It's really the perfect place to have a quiet, relaxing time. In the summer you can go hiking, in the winter snowshoeing, or just walking around and enjoying the nature. We are here really just in front of the cottages. And you just step out and you get this amazing view. so it's absolutely perfect. And Jenny is asking if I'm also taking some photos of the lights, and I absolutely do. I have my stills camera down on the river ice, and you can check out my Facebook page, and I will post some pictures usually the next day. And I also sell pictures, prints, so check out my website. And John, we will be waiting for you from the Netherlands. That would be amazing. Now we are really hoping this COVID nightmare is finishing for you guys, of course. I know you all want to travel. And for us also, we really want to share this with everybody. And Teresa, we are using a Sony A7S, which is quite old, but really good for nighttime photography. And we are using an apparently defective cable that's making the image flicker uncontrollably. But it's so stiff now that I can't really do anything about it anymore. So you got a 7S III. Wow, that's dream camera. But I think it would be amazing on the Northern Lights indeed. And we are using a 20mm 1.4 lens. And with all this photography, I forgot to greet our new guests on the Space Videos channel on YouTube. So good evening everybody there as well. Really happy to have you here. And we are in Utsjoki in the far north of Finnish Lapland. That's Utsjoki, the northernmost municipality in Finland. And we are just at the border with Norway, actually across the frozen river that you can see in the foreground. Those trees are already on the Norwegian side. And we have been watching the Northern Lights dancing on and off since 1.5 hours almost. It started clear with some good lights and then we got completely clouded, but we should never give up. And then this has been happening now for the past minutes, so really happy about that. It's midnight here in Utsjoki, and since about 11:30 we've been having some really nice lights, so really happy to be able to share this. And Teresa is asking how long have I been outside tonight. Well, actually we are live now since 1 hour and 25 minutes, and I have been outside since maybe 10 minutes before, just the time to set up the computer. I have been driving around a little bit first, hoping to find clear sky, but this didn't happen, and finally I came back and this was there. Yes, I understood standing and sitting. I have a nice chair with a reindeer hide that's keeping me warm, at least keeping my butt warm. But my feet are slowly freezing because this happened out of the blue, not planned, and I'm wearing only one pair of socks tonight. And now we can see why Utsjoki is a really good place. And very often, okay, not very often, but often enough, what we can see now is the only thing that would be visible in the sky. We wouldn't maybe get a bigger show, and if we would be 100-200 kilometers further to the south, this would be just above, just on the horizon or under the horizon and not really visible. And the temperature is, or was when I started, -15 Celsius, and maybe yes, Tom is asking what's the temperature. I was just saying, I think it's -15 Celsius, which is +5 Fahrenheit. It might be a little bit colder actually now that it's been clear for so long, so maybe a few degrees less. And Jeroen is saying that you will come back, because yes, I do understand Dutch. So I hope you choose Utsjoki, Jeroen. And now I'm also myself really curious about the temperature, so hang on, I will pick up the thermometer. Now it looks like we need to turn the camera. So, Teresa, no, I don't have any hot drink because the weather forecast was terrible. And I just suddenly saw that there was some green in the sky, so I just packed or took everything that was already packed and more is ready. And just ran out, didn't even take the time to boil water because I didn't know how long it would last. And here I am again in the dark, just lighting myself with my laptop screen. So hi everybody who just joined, I'm Ryan. You can see on the screen my website, and we are at the cottages of Aurora Holidays here in Utsjoki in the far north of Finnish Lapland, and we have been watching the Northern Lights since about 1.5 hours. We had some really good moments, so if you're watching on YouTube you can scroll back. Don't forget to come back to the live feed. The sky is getting a little bit more hazy again, but we had a really good show. I think we are still having a nice show. It's coming and going, so we are staying together a little while longer. Hi everybody. Yes, Teresa, I do have a face. I try usually to set up a face camera, but today was really everything so quick and hectic. Good night, Jenny. Have a good night. Thank you for following. We have Diana. Good evening. Hi, Christina. Hi, Janet. And the Northern Lights are still there with us, so we are staying together for a little while longer. I don't expect a huge show tonight, but who knows? It's starting to be late. I haven't even checked the solar wind anymore. It's not really super promising, but let's stay together for a little while longer. I see some green to the naked eye over there. And this is typically something you wouldn't see further in the south, but it's bright. I even saw it with the naked eye. That's why I switched. And if we would be further in the south, it would be under the horizon or too close from the horizon. Good night, Paula. Hello, Cask. Now you have seen my face. We have Andy here. Good evening, Andy. And Gina on Space Videos chat is asking if I am feeling warm. Well, it is starting to feel really cold, but the Aurora keeps me warm. And Irma has never been in minus weather. Well, you should join us here in Utsjoki. And Charlotte, Yes, it's not minus 36, just minus 20. I have brought the thermometer. It was inside, so it needs to cool down to the temperature. But I've seen another one that was outside all the time and it showed me minus 20. And I'm sorry guys, there is so many comments, I haven't been able to read them all, and usually Tina from Aurora Holidays is helping with reading the comments, but she's out on a tour, on a chase with a guest tonight. The weather was not supposed to be clear here in Utsjoki, so she took a guest on the chase and she's busy driving, so I'm all alone reading all the comments and moving the cameras and getting everything to work. Hello Waltraud from Austria and Glau from Brazil. And Jose, the temperature about minus 20. And Diane, minus 22 is already pretty cold, yes. Last stream that we did 1 week ago, we had minus 36. And that was quite something. And Justin, you saw the meteor shower, that's great. I think we have too much glare of the moon here. And I have read somewhere indeed that it was a better timing for the US. We have seen a few shooting stars this evening, but not as many as I would have loved. And Sini Sofia, your home skies are amazing, yes. I love them. And Lisa, everything is freezing, including including myself. But yes, those cables they are like sticks now. You can't bend them, they hold even horizontally. So maybe one day I will make a video and show you how cables behave in the cold. And Christina is asking if the wind is normally calm. It really depends. I don't think we have, how to say, we don't often have, or almost never have, this kind of -20 temperature and wind at the same time. It's usually either or, but to be honest, I prefer -25 and no wind, like today, rather than -10 and crazy wind. And someone is asking if we have this every day. We have this most days where we have a clear sky. We usually have at least a little bit of green. And Philip is asking where in Finland this is. And this is in Utsjoki, in the far north of Finnish Lapland. We are at the cottages of Aurora Holidays. You can see the link on the screen, on the shore of the Tinna River, which is frozen now. This is this white frozen river in the foreground. So here we are. We have Norway just across the river. Those trees that you can see over there are already in Norway. So everybody, I think that it's time to say goodnight. It's cold, the northern lights have faded. Tomorrow is a work day. So time to go to the hot sauna, get warm, get a good rest, and hopefully we get some good shows again in the coming days and weeks. And we will be, as always, streaming them live for you guys. This has been a surprise tonight. The weather was not supposed to be clear, and it became clear. The solar wind was not so good, and it was good. Well, it was not good solar wind, but we got good auroras, which is the beauty of being in Utsjoki. Sorry, it's getting a little bit cold and I'm getting a little bit slower. Make sure to follow our pages, Facebook pages, YouTube channels, and hit those notification buttons or bells or whatever they are called. Actually, you can see the moon just above the cottage over there. And we will be streaming again. And when we do, if you have subscribed, you will be the first to know. In the meantime, don't hesitate to check our websites and pages. I'm looking at the last comments. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for following. And one last point, we are live 24 hours per day on the channel of Aurora Holidays. I will display the link on the stream in a second. So even when we are not doing the commentary, we always have a chance to see the Northern Lights, even in the middle of the night or earlier in the afternoon. So it's on the YouTube of Aurora Holidays, youtube.com/Aurora Holidays, and there is the live stream over there. So thank you everybody for following. Thank you for all the nice comments and the company. I really had a great time, and the video will stay on YouTube and it will stay on Facebook, so you can watch it back. Take good care of yourselves. Happy New Year to everybody. Take care, stay safe, take care of your families and your friends, and see you soon again.